trying to protect ourselves and citizens.
The owner of the franchise said his thoughts go out to the families, but Twin Peaks says it's revoking the franchise agreement, saying the management team chose to ignore warnings from police. Alan Kcaa, Waco, Texas.
Police have not revealed what sparked the fight, which took place in broad daylight. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has touched a new intraday high, right now up by 49 points. The Nasdaq gaining 32, the S&P up by 7. I'm Ann Cates.
Shaquille O'Neal for Icy Hot.
If you've got pain, you need the patch.
The Icy Hot Patch. Powerful, targeted, fast-acting pain relief that stays put without the mess. Icy to dull the pain, hot to relax it away. In a variety of sizes, from back, shoulders, knees, even arthritis. So you're covered whenever and wherever you're hurt. Stop pain right at the source with Icy Hot Patches.
Pain's no match for the Icy Hot Patch.
For temporary topical pain relief, use only as directed.
Guys, when you buy your clothes at DXL, you look good. But you feel like a rock star. So if you want to look and feel like you'll find all the brands you love, waist size 38 and up, all in one awesome store. DXL, you're looking good. Right now, Harbor Bay tees are just $19.99 each when you buy 2 or more.
Don't miss A1 Al Palazzo talk about San Bernardino every Tuesday at 4 p.m. It's live, local, and right down the block on Kcaa 1050 AM.
Well, good afternoon. It is 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the latest in local news on Kcaa 1050 AM. 2 Bloomington men were arrested over the weekend in connection with possessing weapons and drugs after they were accused of sexual assault. Fontana police served a search warrant on a home on the 18,700 block of 5th Street in Bloomington. There, they found a submachine gun, several pounds of marijuana, methamphetamine, and cocaine packaged for sales, and U.S. currency related to narcotics sales. Detectives also found evidence related to the sexual assault investigation. 30-year-old Alejandro Martinez was found to be a convicted felon with prior narcotics and weapons violations. Martinez and 25-year-old Victor Villarreal, both of Bloomington, were arrested. Additionally, a 5-year-old boy was removed from the residence and released to family members. Sergeant Eric M. Seaman of Marietta died in the wreckage of the UH-1 Huey that went missing last Tuesday on its way to delivering rice and tarps for victims of last month's Nepal earthquake that killed 8,200 people. The copter's wreckage was found Friday following days of intense searching in the mountains northeast of Kathmandu, Nepal's capital. Seaman's charred body was found Saturday. He was identified yesterday as the husband and father of 2 young children. Seaman's family has set up a GoFundMe.com campaign with a goal to raise $25,000. As of 9 o'clock last night, 291 people had donated more than $16,000. And the nation's largest solar-powered boat competition is over. Boats built and raced by students from Canyon Springs High School in Moreno Valley and Oxford Academy High in Cyprus claimed the top awards at the Metropolitan Water District's 13th annual Solar Cup at Skinner Lake on day 3. The schools were among the 41 teams representing a 6-county area in Southern California. Solar Cup is a school year-long program in which students build, equip, and race 16-foot single-seat boats powered only by the sun. Solar Cup is a program that teaches future generations about the importance of California's natural resources as they apply knowledge in math, science, technology, and engineering. Inland Empire weather. It is a little bit cloudy out there. High is expected to get up to about 69 degrees. Overnight will drop down to about 56. We are at 65 currently. In Ontario, your drive looks like this. On the 60 westbound between Grove and Mountain Avenue, there's a little bit of stop-and-go traffic there. Also in Corona, the 91... Let's see, it says inbound. I'm guessing that's westbound between McKinley Street and 6th Street. there is a little bit of slow and go there. Also, the ramp in Corona on the 91, yes, eastbound at Main Street is reopened. You do still have some slow traffic from Lincoln Avenue because that was an injury crash blocking the exit ramp. And at the Cajon Pass, there's an accident on the shoulder. That's at the northbound side right after Kenwood Avenue, and that involves 3 vehicles along the right shoulder, so beware of that. That is the latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
The quickest way between 2 points or more is AM 1050 KCAA.
We honor every day. That is our military. Special themed hour, 3-star general in studio, and more. Don't miss it. It all starts right now.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. Open phones this hour. This hour we're going to dedicate to the military. Those of you serving around the world, those of you serving within anywhere within the reach of my voice, you call in. We're going to take calls and guests and comments about and for the military this hour. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Now, many of you know we have a high school curriculum that is, we're getting ready to have our 2 millionth high school senior graduate from a high school curriculum. Most of you know we have Financial Peace University in churches. About 40,000 churches have now taught that. Tens of thousands of companies company employees go through our Smart Dollar program, teaching employees on behalf of companies about their money and learning to handle their money, part of their 401k training package and so forth. We're on university campuses. Some of you, for some reason, don't know is that we also teach the military. Our Financial Peace University Military Edition is a big deal in the military. And, of course, since military folks are a big deal, and the service that you provide, earlier, the military folks, and they said, why does it matter to you as a civilian? And I said, well, because I like the free enterprise system, and the free part of the free enterprise system is there because of the military. We're free because of them. You wouldn't be free if it wasn't for them. You'd be somebody be trying to get you to speak another language, and not because of political correctness, but because of something else, because they took over our place. So these men and women put their lives on the line all over the world for you. And here, let me just help you with this. If you're a Dave Ramsey fan, you're not allowed to do anything except give them unbelievable respect. And that's the deal. Now, as a group, as individuals, military people, it turns out, are people. And it turns out people do stupid stuff with money. And so they're no different than anybody else. As a matter of fact, some of them struggle with some unique issues that are unique to military service. So we're going to serve you this hour if you're in the military. You call if you're a reservist, National Guard, if you're active duty in any way. You call in, and we're going to take your call, particularly about military-related questions. The phone number, 888-825-5225. Starting this hour is Valerie in Camp Pendleton. Hi, Valerie. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What about you?
Doing okay. I wanted to let you know we are so grateful that you're taking the time to do this and to really genuinely hear our questions and concerns. My husband and I, we've been married for 9 years. He's been active duty over 11, almost 12 years. And our biggest question that we have for you is when you're active duty military and you can either choose to live on the military base that you're stationed at, or you can take the allotted amount of money and live out in town. You can rent or buy a home. Mm-hmm. We have lived on base our entire time, essentially paying rent to live in government-based housing. My question is, there's always a big hurry to want to buy a house as soon as possible, but what ends up happening is the active duty member will get orders to a different state or even overseas. Then they're left to be the homeowners and rent out their home, and then they want to go buy another house. Should we wait till he's totally retired to even buy a house to not worry about that? Or should we start saving now for a down payment while he's still active duty?
That's a great question. I get this a lot when I'm working with folks in the military. Thank you, by the way, for your service, and tell him thanks for his as well. I recommend until you know that you're at the point in your career, whether that's retired or whether it's just later in your career where you're settled, that you know you're going to be in one place for a while, that you rent. I would not buy. Because what you described is exactly what happens. The average stint's about 2 years, and usually if you live in a home 2 years and you sell it, you lose money.
Yes.
In most cases. And so you're going to want to, you're going to come out cheaper having rented, particularly when they're paying for some of it off base. Now, as a lady, a homemaker, 11 years into service, you may want to do something other than base housing, just to have a place to kind of make your nest, so to speak. Base housing is a little tough to nest in. But, I mean, you can put a little more of your fingerprint, your touch on a rental house than you can on base stuff. But base stuff's cheaper, obviously, but you are getting what you pay for in that. It's more of a gray box. So, it does have a roof on it, and that's nice, but that's what you're facing. So, if you're in a family situation like that, now, a single guy, single gal, hey, base may be the way to go. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to cut the grass. You don't have to worry about anything going wrong. It might not be a bad thing. But, in terms of just quality of life and lifestyle, probably a little rental house is a good idea, because most of the time, unless you're going to be there 5 years or more, you're not going to really have the house go up enough in value. And here's the other problem. I mean, I don't know how Pendleton is off the top of my head, but a lot of bases, the main economy in the area is the military. The main economy in the area is the military.
Right.
And, like we got Clarksville up here with 101st just north of us. The main economy in Clarksville is 101st. I mean, there's other stuff there, but it's a big chunk of the economy. So it's a big chunk of the housing economy. So there's a whole bunch of people that moved and have a house up for sale. And as long as you have that, you never have huge appreciation, because there's always houses for sale. So the prices don't go up as much, because there's a flood in the market. And so it makes it tough to sell a house if a lot of other houses are for sale and it hadn't gone up enough in value. So you're stuck in a military community. It's tougher. Now, you go into something like maybe you're Navy and you're in San Diego. Yeah, you may step out there in San Diego and make some money. That could happen.
Right.
But most of the time, you can get stuck in these houses, and they become a curse rather than a blessing. That's what you're facing. So that's the thing. Hey, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you your service again, and tell your husband the same thing as well. So, guys, that's a formula all of you can use. You might be a corporate gypsy. Maybe you're not military. But if you're moving every 2 years or so, most of the time buying a home doesn't work. I'm a big proponent of real estate. I love owning your own home, and I love the emotional sense of it. I love the financial sense of it. I love the tax break. I love all of that. But you don't want to be in the military and have rental houses left behind in every city where you were stationed. You end up with rental houses all over the nation, and all in military communities where you're trying to collect rent. I would pile your money up when you come out, or when your career you get high enough rank that you can stabilize your location a while, then maybe buy. That's the way to look at it. It's a military theme hour here on the Dave Ramsey Show.
Don't miss A1 Al Palazzo Talk About San Bernardino every Tuesday at 4 p.m. It's live, local, and right down the block on Kcaa 1050 AM.
With great information and advice. In fact, they've been requested by over 60,000 customers. Home buyers will want to get Buying Your First Home, or What Every Home Buyer Must Know. Those interested in refinancing should get our refinancing handbook. Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
Kcaa.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Chair rail molding adds a tasteful touch to rooms, especially when it's combined with crown molding. Chair rail type moldings were used at least as far back as the Greeks and the Romans, but they didn't come into popular usage until 18th century England. They were all about protecting walls from chairs, which were always kept at rest up against the walls in proper English dining rooms. If you're thinking of installing chair rails in your home, here are a few points to keep in mind. To be the most visually appealing, chair rails need to be installed at the right height. Most experts say the right height is about a third of the distance from the floor to the ceiling. If your tastes tell you otherwise, maybe go a little lower rather than higher. Installing above 32 inches is likely to be unflattering to the proportions of the room. The best width for a chair rail molding will vary a bit depending on the dimensions and the wall colors of the room, but 2 to 3 inches is most common. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-643-6931 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-643-6931 to take your call now. Call 1-800-643-6931. That's 1-800-643-6931. Again, 1-800-643-6931.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
As Memorial Day approaches, we are doing a military theme hour to reflect on our heroes and to just stop a second and pause and honor those that are serving in the National Guard and the reserves, those that are serving active duty of all kinds all over the world. And I know you guys are listening via the internet and our podcast and everything else all over. And we are pretty seriously honored. Probably our This may be the biggest time guest we've ever had. We get all these celebrities and these people around, but in the world of the military, this is celebrity as big as it gets. We've got General Jeffrey Talley with us. He is the Chief of the Army Reserves. He's the 32nd Chief of the Army Reserves. He serves as the Principal Advisor to the Secretary of the Army and the Army Chief of Staff on all Army Reserve affairs. He also serves over 205,000 Army Reserve soldiers, 12,600 civilians with over 31 years of service. General Talley and his wife Linda have 4 grown kids, and he is as well a combat veteran. So we are honored to have... I guess this is your 3-star, right? 4-star? 3-star?
3-star.
I was about to give you a promotion, but like I had anything to do with that. But
thanks, Dave.
This is our first 3-star
in
the first 3-star in the studio. Welcome.
Well, Dave, thanks for being here and allowing me to be part of your show. So a quick class on generals. So when you hold your hand up and you've got 4 fingers, 1 star.
Mm-hmm.
So as brigadier, so we say, "Be my little general." Brigadier general, major general, 2-star. Lieutenant General, General. Be my little general. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. All right. That's how it works. Well, I'll try to remember that next time. not mess up the protocol. I apologize.
Okay.
But impressive nonetheless. Honor to have you. And you and I were blessed to spend a little bit of time together before the show today, and I was learning about the reservists and how out of the 200+ thousand, that somewhere around 38,000 are called up or active at any given time. Is that about right?
That's about right. About 20% of my force on any given day is supporting the combatant commands around the world.
Okay. And your offices are in the Pentagon?
The principal office is down the hall from the Secretary and the Chief in the Pentagon, and then the office of the Chief of the Army Reserves at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, and then the Commanding General Office is what we like to call sometimes the center of the universe, and that's Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
We in the Army like to call it that. Yeah.
Right.
That's perfect. I love it. That's great. Well, we were talking about before you came on, I was in the first segment that we're teaching Financial Peace University on bases and installations all over the world, and a lot of people just teaching it ad hoc. Some of the officers pick it up and just see that their men and women need this stuff. So let me just ask you overall, though, what do you think one of the bigger challenges, and you don't have to answer money, certainly, we know it's one of them, but what are some of the big challenges that the reservists face right now?
I think the biggest challenge you have is, since most of your reserve force work in predominantly the private sector, and then in addition to that serve in uniform as a Army Reserve soldier, is they need to have good career opportunities as citizens so they can continue to serve as a citizen soldier in the Army Reserve.
So one thing we can do is their employers can treat them well, especially when they get called up.
Absolutely. So the first thing is they've got to have not a job but a career where they can generate value to that institution and organization while they continue to serve the nation. And, of course, a big part of that is making sure that they're balanced physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And, of course, when we look at the big challenges we see with young people today, since we're talking predominantly a young population in terms of age, is they need to make sure that they practice financial readiness and are financially ready so they can stay completely focused on doing a great job for our Army, but also for their civilian employer.
Do you guys have data on how they're doing at that?
We do have data. I mean, one of the things that we see, and I mentioned it earlier in our discussion, is we have soldiers coming in today that are not grounded in values the way they may have been in 10, 20 years ago. So the first thing we do is welcome into our Army family and share with them our Army values, our culture of our institution called America's Army. Then the next thing that we do is we want to make sure that they're able to cope with what's going to be a very complex, high-stress job serving in uniform. And that's where we're seeing some challenges. So as we try to have them invest in themselves so they can become leaders and serve the nation, we've got to make sure that they don't have challenges that go unaddressed, that maybe, because sometimes, as I said to one of your staff earlier, we want them to run to the Army, not to run away from something.
To the Army, yeah. So am I reading into this, and if I'm wrong, you correct me, I'm fine with that, that some of the deterioration of the family, the demographics that I'm aware of, the family unit, and the deterioration really of fatherhood in a lot of cases, around the nation. Not that the dads that are there are doing a bad job, but there's just a real breakdown of the family that's translating into incomplete values and incomplete coping skills coming in. Is that what you're saying?
That's what we're seeing when we reach out to medical experts and people are looking at the big data. They're suggesting that they don't have those coping skills, and society and life itself are so much more complex today than it has been in the past. And so we have to teach them not only basic values about what it means to serve others and serve the nation, we also have to help teach them how to cope with the skill sets that they don't always have when they come into our armed forces.
It's probably the first generation you've had that with. The first or second. I mean, it's a fairly recent phenomenon. That's right. It is a recent phenomenon. And we're having great success with that, because anytime someone comes into the service and they want to invest in themselves, they're going to have success. They're going to be able to be successful as an individual, but more importantly, be a successful part of the team. If you're just joining us, we're talking with General Jeff Talley, Chief of the Army Reserves, in studio here, and we're doing a special military theme hour to honor our men and women in uniform all over the place. If you want to talk, the phone number is 888-825-5225. Now, the Army Reserves has this initiative called the Public-Private Partnership. Tell me about that.
Sure, Dave. So when I became the Chief of the Army Reserve back in June of 2012, Jack Stoltz, my predecessor, had created this employers partnership program that became so successful at partnering predominantly with the private sector and offering jobs and career opportunities for soldiers and their civilians. It became replicated across all of the departments and across the Department of Defense. So when I came into the position, I wanted to take that to the next level and recognize that when we really look at the complex challenges we have in the world, they can't be solved by governments alone. They have to be solved by governments and the private sector. And since the Army Reserve is predominantly employed in the private sector, more so than any other service or component, I wanted to take it beyond an employer's partnership program, if you will, and make it about how can we generate readiness from a private sector perspective in our soldiers, leaders, and units while generating value for those private organizations.
That's big. So let me kind of get basic as a leader then, because you obviously lead a lot of men and women, very important role that you're playing. What do you got Army Reserve soldiers out there listening all over the place right now. We got a ton of them in our audience, some of them on hold calling in. What do you, as the general, what do you expect of an Army Reservist?
So what I often tell the troops when I'm out meeting with them in their formations or even talking to their employers is I need you to first be a leader in your family. And second, I need you to be a leader in your community. And third, I need you to be not an average employee for whatever civilian organization you work for, but you've got to be the very best. And I want you to focus on those three. And I don't worry so much about the Army piece. Why? Because if I get the first three, I guarantee I get a better soldier.
And you got one that can concentrate. They're ready.
I got one that can concentrate. They're ready. And they're going to be able to stay a soldier for life. And that's what we want. We want you to come into our armed forces. We want you to be a soldier for life. And even after you retire or leave the service, we want you to be able to continue to share the positive culture you've experienced as a soldier in service to others.
So many people have had their lives changed by serving that way and by serving with men like you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to come and spend time with us and for your service to the country and for what you do, the kind of leader, the kind of man you are. I appreciate it. It's an honor to get to know you, sir.
It's an honor. Thanks, Dave.
General Jeff Talley, Chief of the Army Reserves, here in studio. Back with your questions and calls. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on Kcaa Radio.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks, and I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
This is KCAA.
California headline news. Investigation continuing into a weekend officer-involved shooting in San Diego. A suspect who fled a traffic stop, leading police on a pursuit and allegedly opening fire, hitting the officer in the chest.
This is another reminder of how dangerous and situations can be and how things happen very quickly.
Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman, the officer expected to recover. The officers shot the suspect to death. Chair of the House Intelligence Committee calling ISIS a huge advance over previous terrorist groups.
ISIS I describe as Al-Qaeda 6.0. So this is really the sixth generation of Al-Qaeda.
Congressman Devin Nunes saying while airstrikes are having an impact on ISIS with Iraq and Syria, the group's influence is still spreading throughout the region. Extreme athlete Dean Potter and another man die in a base jumping accident at Yosemite. Officials say Potter and Graham Hunt died Saturday after attempting a wingsuit flight from a 7,500-foot promontory. Geico weather, partly cloudy, seasonal temperatures. Jeff Scott, California News.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 877-890-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fixed at 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket. But you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 877-890-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Rates may change without notice. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
That's 877-890-CASH.
Do you have to ride the bus or depend on someone else for a ride? Is your current car giving you problems or just getting too old? Nearly everybody needs a car, but most people don't have enough money lying around. That's where car financing from Credit Yes comes in. For over a decade, Credit Yes has helped millions of people get the auto loan that's right for them. We want to help you too, and for free. Whether you have bad credit, no credit, or even gone through bankruptcy, we could help you get a car loan. We believe that everyone deserves a second chance. If you call right now, we could find you the right financing option, no matter your credit history. 855-669-7131. Every call is absolutely free and there's no obligation, meaning there's nothing to lose. Now is the time, and it's probably not always going to be this easy. We even have programs that may allow you to put zero money down. Don't wait any longer to get the car you need, no matter your credit history. Call Credit Yes for free right now. 855-669-7131. That's 855-669-7131. One last time, 855-669-7131.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
Come visit the all-new Tiger Trail at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Get an early start and have a bountiful buffet breakfast at Tiger Trail's Sambutan Longhouse while watching these majestic creatures. A tiger keeper will be on hand to share stories about these fascinating felines and will invite one of the tigers to join the session. Then explore the Tiger Trail's 5.2 acres, watch the tigers climb rocks, swim in ponds, and nap in tall grasses. See these beautiful animals up close, all at the new Tiger Trail at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Go to San Diego Zoo SafariPark.org.
This is KCAA.
Well, we just on the video channel. If you've never watched our video channel, you should. It's free, and you can download the app for your iPhone or your iPad for free to watch everything going on behind the scenes. But we just had, in honor of our military, special military hour this hour, all the folks that have ever served from our team come down and open up that segment on the video channel. You guys on the radio didn't get to see them, but I'm just telling you, I'm watching the window right now, and they're streaming back by like 50, 60 people on our team, it looks like, have formally served in one way or another. That's pretty cool. We were able to twist his arm and get General Talley to spend another segment with us. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, it's great to be here, Dave.
Very cool. You mind if we jump over and take a Master Sergeant's call?
I think that'd be awesome.
This would be fun and probably be a big thrill for him. So Master Sergeant Cologne is on the line from Fort Bragg. Master Sergeant Cologne, how are you?
Hello, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you today.
You too, sir. You too. Thanks for calling in. What's up in your... Oh, say hello to the General.
All the way, sir.
Airborne.
Cool.
I love it. All right. How can I help today, or what you calling about?
Well, sir, I just want to let you know that kind of give a report from the field. I've been involved with Financial Peace Military Edition for the last 8 years here at Fort Bragg and also north of your position at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And it's been an amazing ride, amazing journey. And we just graduated our 29th class.
Wow.
Close to 685 soldiers and their families are benefiting from Financial Peace Military, and it's been a thrill.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. That's pretty impressive, man. What got you to doing this?
Well, sir, my story, I met my wife. We were coming off of previous marriages, and I had 3 children from previous marriage. I had a ton of debt. And when I met Carol here in Fayetteville, she had 9 children. So we were a blended family of 12 children. And then we decided to add 2 more. Well, the story is Carol had 0 debt with 9 children. And I looked at her and I said, I want to be just like you. And I was fortunate enough to go through Financial Peace Military while I was on the trail as a drill sergeant in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And once we became debt-free, and I had a 6-year plan to become debt-free as a staff sergeant in the United States Army, and she had turned around and said, no, we're going to do it in 2 years. 22 months later, we paid off the van, and we became completely debt-free, and that's what got me kick-started on this journey to spread the word and get others involved.
Always helps when a man marries up, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You did good. Mm-hmm. So tell me and the General, I think we both know, but this is an underhand pitch, what you're finding as you're teaching 29 of these classes about the health of the soldier out there, financial health of the soldier.
Oh, yes, Dave. I think one of the biggest things, and once again, I use our story, too, to get them, to motivate them, encourage them, and inspire to get them in the seats. And I think that's the key, is the delivery of financial literacy, of personal finances. Soldiers are struggling with debt out there. We've had a ton of them out there that continue to take on loans and payday loans and, car loans and things like that are out of their reach. And when we get them, it's amazing within that 90 days to be able to affect their behavior change, what you talk about every day on the show, and to see soldiers, junior and senior alike, we serve all parts of the military, and to see them just transform their finances and be excited about their finances and So that's the biggest thing, is that, just getting them around and knowing that if they reduce their debt, they can build wealth even while serving in the military.
Very cool. Well, thank you for that. General, you got any questions for him?
I want to thank you for your leadership, not only in the Army as a non-commissioned officer, but for what you're doing, changing lives outside of uniform as you teach them to be financially ready. So thank you.
No, well, thank you, sir, and thank you for all you've done for us, and I really appreciate that, sir.
Very cool. So I'm looking at pictures of you on they're flashing up pictures of you, Master Sergeant, on the video channel. So you're a Green Beret?
I am not. I'm actually I'm wearing a maroon beret, but I'm a special operations support soldier. So we support the Green Berets here at USASOC.
Oh, you're standing beside the Green Beret thing. That's what it is. Okay, that's what got me confused. See, that shows my military ignorance, which I have done all throughout the hour and will continue to do unashamedly. But it's awful. Well, hey man, thank you. Thanks for teaching 29 classes over 8 years. It's an honor to talk to you, sir.
No, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. May I ask one question real quick?
You may, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. Well, one question that frequently comes up in the class is it's a reference to temporary duty, or TDY, and those are times of separation when a service member is gone from their family. So what safeguards do you think would be appropriate to help a family not fall into any pitfalls or negative impacts with their household income, household budget?
Well, if they've got access to the internet, and they don't always, because sometimes it's special operations and they're out of touch, they're off the grid, I understand. But if they've got access, then I would just stay connected with spreadsheets or emails. Certainly, you can use everydollar.com. It's free, and that way you can be halfway across the world and be connecting on the budget and staying on the same page that way. That's the important thing, is to be staying on the same page and being able to track with that. It gives the person at home needs to know that it gives a soldier tremendous comfort in the field that the home life is under control while they're gone. And so updates about the money does that. If the money's under control, everybody's eating, the lights are on, we're on our path, we're working a debt snowball, we're still doing that while I'm over here. They may, in some places, even be getting the tax-free combat pay and that kind of thing on a TDY. So, those kinds of things come up, then that's how I would handle that. So, again, Master Sergeant Collin, thank you for the call very, very much. So, when you hear those young guys learning about that stuff, it really does come back to some of the core values of the Army, the whole idea of efficiency and sustainability, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And so I want to thank you, because when I've looked and heard from the Financial Peace Military Edition, it clearly shows that you understand how financial readiness impacts the readiness of a soldier, a leader, which of course impacts their ability for their unit to do their mission. And we've benefited tremendously in the Army and in the Army Reserve from soldiers just like the Master Sergeant, teaching and training those outside of their daily responsibilities to be financially ready. And so there's a direct correlation there to readiness.
Yeah, it is fair to remind you guys in the audience that the Army in no way endorses Financial Peace University. They just allow it. And so the General's not endorsing us in any way by being here directly. But
my lawyers are thanking you for that statement right now, so thanks so much, Dave.
Yeah, well, keep JAG happy. They're a grouchy bunch. No, kidding aside. But anyway, hey, thank you again for being here and for this service. When we talk about resiliency in finances, one of the things I read, and I don't know if this statistic is still true, that one of the biggest reasons that people are taking a pay cut is a loss of their financial credibility. They lose some of their security clearances due to their credit being bad, due to getting heavy debt loads, those kinds of things. If they get their finances out of control, it ends up affecting their military career, doesn't it?
I mean, absolutely. So one of the parts of my job that I don't enjoy is, as the commanding general of U.S. Army Reserve Command, going back to the lawyers, they'll bring in about 2 or 3 suitcases of files and cases of real people and real lives about every other week to me. And often in those 3 suitcases are, unfortunately, soldiers that I have to kick out of the Army because because their financial situation has gotten so desperate. They've lost their security clearance, and often it's caused so many other problems for them and their ability to lead. and it breaks my heart. The good news story is when I see them come in, and maybe I send them a letter, if you will, from me that kind of gets their attention, and then I see the same case a month or 2 or 6 months later where they've been able to get things corrected and fix it, then it makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because we read across the service that about the third largest reason for dishonorable discharge is financial related. Does that sound about right?
That's about right, unfortunately.
Okay. Wow, very cool. Well, we're honored to have you here, honored to have leaders like you serve our nation. General Jeffrey Talley, the Chief of the Army Reserves, here in studio with us for a couple of segments on a military theme hour here on the Dave Ramsey Show. Thank you again, General.
Thanks, Dave. Stay Army strong.
Absolutely. God bless you.
God bless you.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on Kcaa Radio.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
Hi, this is Bob with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Tune in every Thursday afternoon from 3 until 4 at KCAA Radio 1050, and we will be there to answer your real estate questions, the latest real estate news, and to talk to the leaders of the real estate industry. Our Real Estate Talk, you can find out how to stop your foreclosure, first-time homebuyer information, loan modifications, different kinds of loans you can buy with, short sale strategies, and real estate investing and more. So don't forget, tune in every Thursday afternoon at 3 for Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. You'll be glad you did.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner and Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
I've been blessed to hang around a few times and speak on bases and installations around the nation, and commanding officers, generals, and so forth. There is something about the way they carry themselves. There's a dignity, I understand it's all trained, I understand it's all leadership, and I understand it's all a decision. But for those of us that have not served, I've not served in that way, you just come away with going, there's so much right with our military. And when you hear all the sniping and the griping that goes on about the different things in the news, and then I sit down and know people like that, like General Talley that was just with us. It makes you stop and realize that that's just plain silliness. These men and women are pretty incredible. So we're doing a military theme hour to honor the military this hour. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. If you want to know more about our military course, we have Financial Peace University Military Edition. All you got to do is go to daveramsey.com and click on military. The course is taught in, I think, currently, again, every branch of the military. We come in and out of favor depending on political correctness sometimes with different things. Army's the military's a real dichotomy. They have all this sense of honor and dignity, and yet political correctness has absolutely invaded the ranks without a doubt, and invaded the whole process, and it creates all kinds of problems. So, but we're there, and we're continuing to scrap and claw and fight to make sure that we're there even more, because we've got a heart for these men and women, particularly the young men and women that are serving, and making sure that they're that they're taken care of. Most of the guys and gals that have been in there a long time, they're doing okay financially most of the time. But just to make sure that these folks serving literally all over the world, that they have all the tools that they need, financial and otherwise, to win. All right, this is the Dave Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Robert and Noel are in England calling in. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, Dave.
Welcome.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. So thank you for calling all the way from England. So what branch of the service are you guys in?
Army Reserve for me.
For you. Okay. So that was your general sitting here a few minutes ago then, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. And what do you do for the Army Reserves?
I'm actually an analyst.
Okay. All right. All right. Very neat. Very neat. So I see on my screen that you're calling all the way from England to do a debt-free screen.
We are. Yes.
I love it. How much debt have you two paid off?
We paid off about $60,000.
Way to go. And how long did that take you?
2 years.
Awesome. Very cool. And making what kind of money, household income?
We started around 60, and then we ended up around 100 now.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And so, Robert, what's your civilian job since you're a reservist?
Well, that's actually how I wound up here, was because of my reserve career. So I'm a contractor for the government, and I found my way to that job by being a reservist.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're not currently serving at this moment then?
No, I do both. We have elements here for the reserve, so I can do my reserve time as well as my contract job.
Oh, I see. I mean, you're currently a reservist, but you're not called up full-time into the reserves at this moment then?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I'm messing the terminology up, I'm sure. So what happened 2 years ago that made you two decide to get out of debt?
Well, we had a good friend of ours, Randy Perry, who's a coordinator in Milford, Ohio, where we came from. We saw how well he was doing, and he always invited us to his course, and one day we finally just signed up and thought
thought, why not? Let's give this a try. And we were hooked from day one.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. So what kind of debt was the $60,000?
Mostly student loans and car loans, one small credit card, and some medical bills.
Okay. So what was the last thing you paid off?
The student loan was the
Ooh.
last thing to go.
Ooh, kick Sally Mae out, kick her all the way back to America, yeah. Oh, man. So how long have you been out of school?
At least 2 years, maybe
Okay.
3.
And that's what Sally Mae was from?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wow. So what was the hardest part of this 2 years to get out of debt for you guys?
We had, while getting out of debt, I had a career change with the Army Reserve. So I used to be a police officer in Ohio, and that career was kind of a dead end for me. A lot of applicants in that area, so I used the military to help train me for that new career. So it was a long road to do that, and in the meantime, I became a warrant officer as well. So a lot of military education, bouncing back and forth between the job and school, and sometimes not getting paid at all. So it was difficult to keep up with everything.
Wow, yeah. So the volatility then, that was the biggest thing, just back and forth and all over the place.
Right.
So what is it? What advice, you got military family, military friends, the military in general listening all over the world right now. What advice do you have to somebody that's sitting $60,000 in debt and they're in the military? What do you tell them about getting out of debt?
Well, the biggest thing is to do the budget. Because with the military paycheck, it's very easy to lose track of how much you're actually getting. We all know at the end of the year the W-2s are a little different by the way we get paid, so you can very easily lose a huge chunk of your money and have no idea where it went. So budgeting and listening to your wife all the time.
What about you, Noelle?
I would just say to keep on it and get a goal and just keep going. Keep focusing on your goal and get it done.
Very cool. Very cool. Good. So what was the low point, the worst moment of the 2 years while you were fighting your way through this?
We had, I was actually, during this whole time, as a reservist, I had come on active duty orders. So in the last 2 to 3 years, I've spent almost that entire time on active duty. And then that all came to an end, and that's when I became a contractor. But there was about, a 7-month span in that period of time where I didn't have a job because I knew I had to come here and do training and things like that. So it was very difficult to get somebody to hire me for anything. But there was a lot of times we were scraping by. It was only because we had stockpiled money, kind of listened to the plan, got our safety net in place that we were able to make it.
Very cool. All right, congratulations, you two, Robert and Noelle in England, Army reservist, $60,000 paid off in 2 years, making $60,000 up to $100,000, but income up all over the place, back and forth, all kinds of volatile as they fought their way through. Count it down. Let's hear a great debt-free scream.
Ready? 3,
2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yes! I love it. All the way from England. Very well done, you two. Very, very well done. Well, this is a military theme hour as we head towards Memorial Day, and we want to take an hour out of our weekly schedule here and just stop. And we had the pleasure of having General Jeffrey Talley with us to come in and be able to just share in person this stuff and being able to learn what's going on in that world and being able to share it with you guys. It's pretty important for you to stop and say that's what Memorial Day is about, that these folks serving they're the reason you're free. So just stop and appreciate them, past and present, for sure. So thank you guys for listening. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to James Childs, our producer. Blake Thompson's our executive producer. Kelly Daniel is our associate producer and phone screener. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m., the station that leaves no listener behind.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are back in the plus column.